Divine timing isn't just a comforting phrase. It's a truth woven into the very fabric of the universe. Every heartbeat, every pause, every encounter is held within a greater plan, even the ones we don't understand in the moment. When it comes to love, especially the kind of love that shakes your soul and shifts your spirit, timing becomes sacred. You might not see it now, but what you've been praying for, what you've been feeling deep within, is aligning behind the scenes. The person meant for you, your soulmate, is not just someone far away, wandering aimlessly. They are already preparing, thinking, sensing something too. They are already being pulled by the same invisible thread that's been tugging at your heart. Before we go any further, I want you to take a breath, ground yourself, and stay with me until the very end of this video. This isn't just a message, it's a shift. And if you've felt even the smallest resonance in your soul, it's not by accident. This is your moment to believe again. So I encourage you to write your warmest wishes in the comments, along with the number 77. Let's release them together into the energetic current that brings the right hearts into alignment. This is about manifestation, about believing in divine orchestration, about letting the universe know you're open to receive. Once is enough. Because when energy is pure, it only needs to be sent once with truth. Now think about the strange coincidences you've experienced lately. The songs, the dreams, the unexplained feelings of anticipation. These are not random, you're not imagining them. These signs exist because your soul is attuned to what is coming. There's an awakening happening within you, and it's connected to someone else's awakening. Your soulmate is not sleeping through life either. They are moving through their own path, unlocking the parts of themselves they'll need in order to meet you at the right frequency. And here's what's incredible. The very act of you becoming aware, ready, open, triggers a mirror reaction in them. This is the nature of soul bonds. They don't need physical contact to begin activating. They begin when your soul starts shifting toward your highest alignment. What we often forget is that love is not something we chase. It's something we prepare for. Divine timing ensures that when the meeting happens, it is not rushed, not half-formed, not wounded. It's full, it's expansive, it's nourishing. So if you've been feeling like things are stagnant, if you've wondered why it hasn't happened yet, know this: delays are not denials. They are divine arrangements. Every delay has been preparing you. Every heartbreak, every tear, every lonely night has been fertilizing the soil of your spirit, so that when your soulmate arrives, the love will not fall on barren ground. It will take root, it will grow, and it will endure. You may not see their face yet, you may not know their name, but their energy is already approaching. They're thinking differently, they're questioning everything, they're seeking, they're healing, and most importantly, they're starting to feel what you've been feeling. That quiet sense that something is near, that gentle urgency, that life is about to shift. Don't ignore it, it's real. And it means you're closer than you think. When your energy changes, when you rise above fear, doubt, and impatience, your soulmate can feel it, even from across oceans. Truth is, many people give up right before the miracle. They surrender to bitterness just as the breakthrough is forming. Don't let that be your story. Your journey is not a cruel joke, it's a masterpiece in progress. And divine timing is not passive, it's active, it's strategic. It's love's way of ensuring both people arrive ready. You're not waiting, you're evolving. And so are they. Your soulmate is already planning the first move, not just thinking about it, but energetically being drawn toward action. They may not even fully understand why they feel compelled to change, to move, to speak, to leave something behind. But that's how the soul works. It nudges, it whispers, it builds momentum. They will be guided towards you not by logic, but by resonance. They will know because their soul will remember, and so will yours. Stay patient but not passive. Stay open but not desperate. Stay grounded but keep your eyes lifted. This is not the time to retreat into hopelessness. This is the time to lean in. The energies are aligning. The veil is thinning. Bite, Itwe Vasign in. If you've been doing the inner work, learning to love yourself, to trust the process, to release attachments, then you are right where you need to be. And what's meant for you will not bypass you. The love that's truly yours will know how to find you. Even in a crowded world, even through silence, even through distance, NSO, let your heart remain expectant, not exhausted. There is a sacred current guiding everything. You don't need to push. You don't need to beg. You just need to allow. When love comes through divine timing, it doesn't feel forced. It feels inevitable, like finally arriving at a place you always knew existed but could never quite reach, until now. You may not realize it, but the energy you're carrying right now is communicating louder than words. The growth you've gone through, the healing you've embraced, the boundaries you've set, all of that has created a frequency. That frequency is now calling in someone who is on the same wavelength. This isn't about luck. It's not about swiping or scrolling. This is about soul-to-soul recognition. It's the kind of connection that doesn't need explanation. It just clicks. And while you may be tempted to think nothing is happening, the truth is, more is happening behind the scenes than you could ever imagine. Right now, your soulmate is being positioned. Whether they're still untangling themselves from an old situation, learning a difficult lesson, or simply preparing to move toward a new chapter, they're not stuck. They're awakening, and that awakening has everything to do with the silent signals you've both been sending. The ache in your chest isn't just sadness, it's a signal. The restlessness in your spirit isn't just anxiety, it's alignment. Your soul knows before your mind does. NWE often look for signs in the external world, but some of the clearest confirmations come from within. That calm certainty, that quiet inner yes, you felt it. That's your inner guidance telling you something is shifting. You may be receiving dreams, déjà vu, flashes of memory, or emotions that seem to come from nowhere. These aren't flukes, they're previews. Glimpses of the timeline you're moving toward. And it's a timeline that holds someone who's been searching for you, even if they don't know it yet. Divine timing works like a magnet. As you heal, you draw your partner in, but the beauty is, the same thing is happening on their end. They're becoming clearer, they're letting go of what doesn't serve them. They're recognizing that what they truly want can't be found in the surface-level noise, and this clarity leads them to feel pulled towards something and someone real. That someone is you. Whether consciously or subconsciously, your soulmate is being nudged closer every day. And that first move they're preparing to make? It won't be just any move. It will be one born from knowing. From the deep sense that the time is right. NBUT. Here's the challenge. Divine timing often requires you to release control. That means letting go of timelines, expectations, and comparisons. It means trusting that you don't have to force the unfolding. The moment you try to manipulate the process, you risk delaying what's already in motion. Your task is to stay aligned, to stay available energetically. Because while your soulmate is planning their move, you must be ready to receive it, and you won't miss it. That's something people fear, that the moment will come and go and they'll miss their chance. But the truth is, what's meant for you won't come in confusion. It will come with peace. You'll feel seen, heard, and safe. You won't need to chase clarity, it will arrive with it. That's how divine timing works. It brings people together when they can honor each other properly, when both hearts are ready to recognize what they've been asking for. This journey has not been easy. You've questioned yourself. You've doubted your worth. You've wondered if real love was even possible anymore. But all of that was part of the refinement. The fire you walked through was necessary. It burned away the illusions. It taught you to love without attachment, to trust without needing control. And that's exactly what allows a soul-deep connection to find its way into your life. NSO, even in the silence, keep preparing. Even when it seems like nothing is happening, understand that every day, both you and your person are being drawn closer. The alignment is real. The path is unfolding. Your soulmate is planning the first move, not because of pressure, but because the time is ripe. The door is opening. The guidance is clear. And something inside them is saying, now is the moment. Don't be surprised if it comes in a way you don't expect. Divine timing rarely delivers things according to human logic. It doesn't care about your calendar. It operates on energy, on readiness, on resonance. That's why some connections happen fast, not because they're rushed, but because they were already in motion spiritually long before you met physically. That's what's happening now. An invisible thread is becoming visible. A bond that was felt in the soul is preparing to show up in your world. This is not a fantasy. It's not wishful thinking. It's alignment meeting readiness. It's the invisible becoming visible. And when it does, it will bring a stillness, a knowing, a peace that cannot be explained. That is the beauty of divine timing. It doesn't just bring you love. It brings you understanding. It shows you why the wait was necessary. It shows you that nothing was wasted. And so even if you can't see it yet, believe it. Even if there's no evidence, trust it. Even if your mind tells you it's impossible, let your heart remember what it knows. This is not the end of your love story. This is the pause before the opening scene. The curtain is about to rise. Stay open, stay ready, stay in alignment, because your soulmate is closer than ever. And their first move is not just a step toward you, it's the fulfillment of everything your soul has been preparing for. There's something extraordinary about divine love. It doesn't shout, it doesn't compete, and it certainly doesn't need to beg for attention. It moves in silence, works in shadows, and then one day it arrives with such clarity that everything suddenly makes sense. You'll begin to realize that the loneliness was not abandonment, it was preparation, that the quiet moments were not punishments, they were gifts, and that the soul you've been longing for wasn't ignoring you. They were just becoming ready to love you right now, while you go about your days. Whether you're making coffee, walking through your favorite park, or lying awake at night questioning the unknown, someone else is moving through their life with quiet echoes of you in their spirit. They may not know your face, but they know the feeling, the tug, the ache, the pull towards something deeper than what they've known. That's what's driving them. That's what's setting them in motion. This is not about chance encounters. It's about soul patterns. It's about contracts that were written long before either of you could speak the language of love. And now, after all the detours, after all the healing, the universe is beginning to draw those lines closer together. You've already started the dance of alignment. They feel the shift just as you do. They are being nudged just as you are. Their heart is being stirred in ways they can't explain, and whether they're consciously aware or not, their actions are beginning to change. Divine timing often brings us to a threshold, a point where we must decide, do we cling to fear or do we lean into faith? And it's at this threshold that many soulmate connections find their opening. Your person may be at this very edge, the edge of leaving something behind, the edge of facing their fears, the edge of making a choice they've avoided for too long. But they feel it, the pull towards something more honest, more sacred, more aligned. And it may not look romantic at first. It may look like restlessness, like detachment from their old life, like late-night journaling, or hard conversations, or quitting things that no longer serve them. That's the soul-making space. That's the internal restructuring that must happen before a new connection can take root. And while this transformation can be uncomfortable, it's necessary. They are becoming the version of themselves that can truly meet you, not the fragmented one, not the distracted one, but the whole one, the present one. And you? You're evolving too. You're learning to stand still in your own worth, to not chase, to not force, to not try to perform for love. That stillness is magnetic. That presence is powerful. When you become anchored in who you are, you become a lighthouse. And soulmates find their way to lighthouses. Not because they're seeking rescue, but because they're seeking truth. A steady light in a world full of noise. That's who you're becoming. That's what's calling them in. There's beauty in the waiting, but only when we understand it's not passive. You're not sitting still. You're becoming more whole. You're learning to trust your intuition, to recognize red flags early, to communicate clearly. And when your soulmate steps forward, it won't be into a fog of confusion. It will be into the clearest version of you. That's what divine timing does. It clears the lens. It removes the clutter. It allows both souls to show up with honesty and readiness. The first move they make may not be loud. It may be a message, a smile, a moment of synchronicity. But don't underestimate it. The energy behind it will speak volumes. Because when it's right, you'll feel it. Not in a way that excites the ego, but in a way that calms the soul. And the peace that follows will be your confirmation. Not the butterflies, not the drama, but the stillness. The "this is it" moment. Divine timing is sacred because it protects us. It ensures we don't settle for a love that's not fully ours. It ensures that when we meet our soulmate, we're not handing them pieces of us we haven't healed. You are being aligned so that you don't just fall into love, you rise with it. You build with it. You become more of yourself through it. And that kind of love, it takes time. It takes depth. It takes courage. Your soulmate's journey has mirrored your own more than you know. They've faced shadows too. They've lost. They've questioned. They've grown. And even now, they may be trying to understand why they feel drawn towards something they can't yet see. That something is you. Your presence, your essence, your growth. It's already reaching them. Not through words, not through photos, but through energy. Through alignment. NSO, keep aligning. Keep anchoring yourself in love, not fear. Keep trusting that the universe is not withholding. It's preparing. It's aligning puzzle pieces so that when it all comes together, it's not a struggle. It's a sacred unfolding. You're not late. You're not behind. You are right on time for your greatest love to arrive. And it's already on its way. They're already planning their first move, not out of desperation, but out of divine readiness. What's next will not be forced. It will not be fragile. It will be rooted. It will be peaceful. It will honor all that you've become. So let yourself feel the excitement, the hope, the anticipation, not because you need someone to complete you, but because you know now how whole you already are. And in that wholeness, love will meet you. Fully. Finally. Faithfully. There is something sacred happening in the background of your life. You may not be able to name it, but you can feel it. A soft hum, a shift, like the wind changing direction right before a storm breaks, or in this case, right before love arrives. The universe has started rearranging things. Conversations are changing, the people in your life are shifting, even your own desires are becoming more refined. That's not coincidence, that's preparation. You are stepping into a season of deep alignment, and when you align, the people meant for you are summoned, not by your effort, but by your energy. Your soulmate, whether they've met you yet or not, is already sensing this pull. That quiet whisper in their heart that something is different, that something meaningful is coming, that it's time to make a move. They may not know where it will lead, but they're starting to feel the urge to take action. It's not random, it's divine guidance. And while you've been tending to your inner world, healing the wounds that kept you repeating old patterns, they've been doing their part too. Not perfectly, not quickly, but truthfully. Maybe they're waking up in the middle of the night, thinking about changes they can't yet explain. Maybe they're making choices that lead them away from comfort and closer to growth. Maybe they're questioning relationships, jobs, routines, because they've started to sense that the old life doesn't fit the person they're becoming. That's how it works. The soul begins moving first, then the mind catches up. Then, the action follows. NWE live in a culture that wants instant results. Love, now. Connection, now. But soul-level partnerships are never rushed. They come together in divine stages, not chaotic collisions. And as much as you may crave the moment your eyes meet, the deeper part of you knows that the true joy isn't just in the meeting, it's in the becoming. You're becoming someone who can hold a love that doesn't drain you, that doesn't confuse you, that doesn't ask you to shrink. There will come a time when you look back and see just how perfectly the timing aligned. All those nights you felt unseen, they were making room for someone who would truly see you. All those moments you stayed true to your standards, even when it hurt, they were strengthening your boundaries so you could recognize healthy love. Every test, every delay, every no from the universe, it was all redirecting you to the one yes that truly mattered, and that yes is approaching, quietly, steadily, purposefully. Your soulmate is not sitting still, hoping for luck. Their heart is stirring. Their spirit is moving. They're getting ready to reach out, to speak, to show up. That's what the first move is all about. Not a dramatic gesture, but a sincere one. A move born not from pressure, but from knowing, from clarity, from a soul that has finally quieted the noise of the world long enough to hear its own truth. They may take their time. They may hesitate before stepping forward, but they will feel that magnetic pull, and it won't let them rest until they take action. Something will guide them, a conversation, a dream, a sudden insight, and they'll know it's time. Not because they're bored, not because they're lonely, but because they're finally ready to meet you with the fullness of who they are. And it's easy to feel like nothing is happening while you wait, but the truth is, waiting is never empty when you're aligned. Things are moving in the unseen, synchronicities are forming, threads are weaving, and the more you trust, the clearer it all becomes. This is the part of the story where faith matters most. Not blind faith, but the kind that comes from soul recognition. The kind that says, I don't need to see the whole picture. I can feel it forming. And you can feel it, can't you? That soft shift in the air. The knowing in your gut that something is near. The part of you that feels both nervous and calm, as though your body is preparing for a new rhythm. That's because love is entering your field. Slowly, yes, but surely. And it's not just any love. It's the kind of love that meets you where you are, but doesn't leave you there. It grows you. It challenges you. It chooses you again and again. There's a beauty in watching it unfold naturally. No games, no manipulation, just alignment. And that first move, when it comes, will reflect that energy. It will be simple, maybe even subtle, but it will feel different. It will carry weight, because when divine timing brings two people together, their meeting doesn't need fanfare. It needs presence, intention, heart. Your only job now is to stay in the flow, to resist the urge to cling, to chase, to control. You don't need to make it happen. You only need to remain available, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Keep choosing peace over panic. Keep trusting the pull. Keep preparing the space, not because you need someone to fill it, but because you know someone worthy is coming to share it. They're not far, they're not lost, they're arriving. One quiet decision at a time. And with every choice they make toward truth, they come closer to you. Your paths are not random, they are designed. And every step you've taken has brought you to this threshold. The meeting point is ahead. The love is real. The timing is sacred. The first move is already forming, and it's only a matter of time before it reaches you. When you look back on your journey, it won't just be the joyful moments that matter. It will be the quiet ones, the ones where you chose not to settle, the ones where you listened to your intuition, the ones where you dared to believe that something deeper was waiting for you. Those moments, though they seemed small at the time, were powerful declarations to the universe. You said, "I am ready for real love. I am ready for divine love. I am not here to repeat cycles. I'm here to break them." And the universe heard you. Your soulmate heard you too. Not through words, but through vibration. Through the frequency of your growth. Through the energetic resonance of your transformation. Because when you evolve, the call you send out shifts. It no longer attracts temporary love. It no longer welcomes inconsistency. It begins to magnetize a partner who has done their work, who's been humbled, awakened, deepened by life. Someone who doesn't want perfection, but truth. Someone who doesn't need fixing, but connection. NTHAT kind of love doesn't appear overnight. It's crafted over time, shaped by experience, made sacred through trials. That's why the first move from your soulmate isn't about performance. It's not for show. It's not to impress. It's a quiet moment of recognition. They'll know something is different. Their soul will respond to a presence they didn't even know they missed until they feel it. And then their heart will nudge them. Say something, do something, go. NTHAT moment is already forming. It might be happening today. It might arrive in a few days or weeks, but it's in motion. You can feel the undercurrent, the way life seems to be nudging you toward greater openness, greater faith, greater softness. That's how you know something is coming. Not because you're fantasizing, but because your entire being is adjusting to welcome it. They are getting ready to approach. It might start as a simple message, a meeting through shared circles, a moment when the timing is just too perfect to explain. They might not even know it's you at first, but their soul will pause. Their inner world will go quiet, and they will feel that this connection is not ordinary. It has weight, it has history, it has meaning. Even if they can't explain it, they'll know. This is someone they don't want to lose. There's a reason you haven't been able to forget the idea of them, even if you've never met. Even if it's just been a feeling, a sense, a pull. That's the soul memory. That's the part of you that's known all along. That's why certain songs feel like they were written for you. That's why you get a strange flutter of anticipation sometimes, even when everything looks the same on the outside. Your soul is picking up signals your mind hasn't caught yet. And here's what's most important to understand. Their first move will be aligned with where you are emotionally. If you are closed, guarded, still stuck in old wounds, they might hesitate, or the moment may pass unnoticed. But if you're open, present, available in your spirit, then when they show up, the connection will activate with ease. Not because either of you are perfect, but because you'll recognize each other through the peace you bring. There is no chasing here, no forcing, no desperate waiting, just alignment. And in alignment, everything flows. You attract not because you're striving, but because you're vibrating on a level that welcomes what is yours. That's where you are now. That's what you've stepped into. That's why the signs are increasing. That's why your intuition is louder. That's why certain people are fading from your life. Because space is being made. Divine love needs space. It won't fight for attention. It won't compete with chaos. It enters when you're ready, when your heart is clear, when your energy is stable. That's what makes the timing sacred. It's not random. It's perfectly tuned to your growth. And your soulmate? They're not here to save you. They're not coming to fix what's broken. They're arriving because you're whole enough now to love and be loved without losing yourself. Because now you can meet them without projecting, without expecting them to carry your healing. You've already done that. Now it's time for reciprocity, for balance, for soul-level companionship. NTHE first move might be small, but it will feel significant, and you'll recognize it not by how loud it is, but by how deeply it resonates. You'll feel something settle, something click. A part of you will exhale in a way it hasn't in years, not from relief, but from recognition. That's when you'll know it's real, it's happening, and everything before now was leading to this moment. Not one tear was wasted. Not one delay was meaningless. The universe was sculpting this love in the unseen, and now it's ready to step into the light. NSO, keep doing what you're doing. Keep growing, trusting, choosing softness over suspicion. Keep preparing your space. Your soulmate is almost here. Their first move is close, and when they arrive, it won't feel like something beginning. It will feel like something returning, something ancient, something promised, something divine. There's a certain kind of love that doesn't need explanation, only presence. It doesn't arrive with fireworks or drama, but with a quiet kind of certainty. And when it comes, you'll know. Because it won't feel like something that's starting. It will feel like something that's always been. Something you've simply been remembering, finally allowed to hold. That's what divine timing brings. Not chaos, but confirmation. Not confusion, but clarity. And all this time, you've been waiting, perhaps without even realizing that you weren't just waiting, you were aligning. Every no shaped your boundaries. Every ending taught you how to begin again. Every person who couldn't love you the way you needed only made space for someone who finally could. You weren't being punished, you were being prepared. And now that preparation is nearly complete. You are standing at the edge of something sacred, something rare, something your soul signed up for long before this lifetime began. Your soulmate's energy has been getting louder in your life. The signs, the intuitive nudges, the strange synchronicities, they're all proof that your paths are near a crossing point. What felt distant is suddenly close. What felt invisible is becoming tangible. And while you may not know how or when, your spirit already knows it's soon. You can feel it in the quiet spaces between your thoughts, in the moments when your heart softens for no reason at all, in the peace that follows your hardest lessons. This is the love that doesn't come to complete you, but to complement you. You are not half. You are not missing anything. And because you've come into wholeness within yourself, this next chapter of your life doesn't revolve around fixing or filling. It revolves around sharing. Loving from a place of fullness. Receiving from a place of worth. Connecting from a place of truth. NTHE first move your soulmate makes might seem small from the outside. A hello. A kind glance. A message. But its impact will be anything but small. It will shift your energy. It will make everything else fade into the background. It will anchor you in the present moment. And from that point forward, everything will begin to unfold, not with pressure, but with flow. You won't need to convince or perform. You'll simply show up, and they will too. And from that honest meeting place, love will bloom. And this journey hasn't been without its scars. You've cried quietly, doubted deeply, hoped cautiously, but you never gave up. Not really, because something inside you always knew that love, real love, was meant for you. And now, the universe is answering that knowing, not just with words or signs, but with action, with people, with presence, with the soulmate who is already on their way to you. You don't have to chase it. You don't have to search every corner of the world, because the kind of connection that is truly meant for you doesn't need to be hunted down. It finds you. It recognizes you. And it arrives when both souls are truly ready, not just to receive each other, but to grow with one another. When your soulmate makes their first move, don't be surprised if it feels natural, as if you'd known them all your life. That's how divine connections work. They don't feel foreign, they feel familiar. Even if the details are new, the energy will feel like home. That's the gift of spiritual alignment. It creates a love that feels like destiny and peace all at once. You've already done so much of the work. You've let go of what needed to leave. You've chosen patience over panic. You've held space in your life, in your heart, even when it was painful. And now that space is ready to be filled. Not with noise or distraction, but with intention. With the presence of someone who sees you clearly, hears you deeply, and loves you truthfully. Divine timing doesn't just bring love, it brings understanding. It brings answers to questions you didn't know you were still asking. It brings context to the waiting. It makes sense of the silence. And it shows you, without a doubt, that love wasn't missing, it was maturing, and now it's ripe. Ready. Whole NSO when it comes. When they come, don't question it. Don't shrink or overanalyze. Receive it with the same energy you gave to the waiting. Openness, gratitude, trust. Know that this moment is not the end of your story, but the beginning of a new one. One written not out of need, but out of resonance. One created not by chance, but by alignment. And above all, remember this. The love you've been preparing for is also preparing for you. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are seen. You are guided. And you are deeply, divinely loved. Your soulmate is already planning the first move, and they're almost here.